Hello, and thank you for logging on to your lesson for today. Today we are going to be talking about safety. So if you could please go ahead and log on to your Google Classroom, you will find an assignment that looks like this. Safety Part 1 Rules and Guidelines. And we're going to be taking some notes in this section, and then there are some true or false questions for you to answer on your own before you submit. So here we go. Safety Part 1 Rules and Guidelines. First of all, we have a nice easy word for you to define. Your employer is the person you work for. So hop on over to your notes. Employer, the person I work for. All right, next, you may have heard of OSHA. It's something that people have probably spoken about at your workplace. OSHA is the part of the government that regulates safety. And it stands for the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, but you don't even need to know that. What I would like you to know is that if you hear OSHA, that means the part of the government that regulates safety. Just a reminder, if this is moving too fast, you can always pause the video. Now we get to probably the most important thing in this lesson, employee responsibilities. That's you. What are you responsible for when it comes to safety? Here's what you need to do. Follow all safety rules, use safety equipment, and report unsafe situations. So let's take the notes. Follow all safety rules, use safety equipment, and report unsafe situations. Why is this so important? Because if you do not follow the safety guidelines or use safety equipment, your employer is not going to be very happy with you. The rules and the equipment are there for a reason. Reporting unsafe situations might mean that you keep your coworkers safe. Now, what if you see an unsafe situation which you could fix? So maybe something spilled and you could easily mop it up so nobody slips. Obviously, you can fix those situations yourself. But you really need to keep in mind that you are responsible to follow safety rules, use safety equipment, and report unsafe situations. Now, what does your employer have to do? Your employer must provide a safe workplace, safety training, and safety equipment. Now, can a workplace ever be perfectly safe? No, but they need to make every effort to keep the workplace as safe as they can. Let's take notes. A safe workplace, safety training to help you stay safe at the job, and safety equipment. Now, safety training a lot of times is going to be shadowing someone who already works at your job. Please pay attention. Follow all the little details. For example, let's say you're working with food. They're going to teach you when you have to change your gloves so that you're not contaminating things with bacteria from raw meat. Pay attention and follow through. Great job, guys. What is a hazard? Hazard is a fancy word for something dangerous. It's a danger at work. This is what I really want you to take away. Don't ignore them. Very important to pay attention at work, period. We're going to capitalize this because it's so important. So if you see a hazard that you can fix it. And if you see a hazard that you cannot, you need to report it. So example, let's say you see a raw wire. A wire has broken and you hear kind of a zzz, zzz sound. You don't want to touch the wire. That's a situation where you would want to report it. All right, let's keep going. If you are hurt at work, which we really hope does not happen, you need to tell the clinic that you were injured at work. So I sliced my finger, I need a couple stitches. When you go to the doctor's office, you need to let them know you were injured at work. Still have my caps lock on. And why do we tell the clinic you were injured at work? Here's why. Workers' compensation. Your employer pays the medical costs if you're injured at work. So that's why you need to let them know. Now, something important here. Your employer is not going to be very happy about having to pay your medical costs. So that's why you need to be very, very careful at work and try not to get hurt. Right back up here on the notes. Follow safety rules. Use safety equipment and report unsafe situations. Because the hope is that your employer does not have to pay medical bills for you. They do not want to do that. And if you're not using safety equipment and following rules, they may not pay those medical bills. So it's just very important. All right, just 2 more items for note taking, and they relate to rules concerning age levels. So you have to be 18 to drive a forklift, use a box crusher, that would be like for recycling, use a meat slicer, or use a bakery machine. So you must be 18 too. So all of these pieces of machinery are very dangerous, and typically the people getting hurt at work are teenagers, so there are laws in place to keep you safe. Now, why do you think teenagers would be the ones getting hurt at work? Well, you guys are young and you're learning how to make good decisions. And unfortunately, learning to pay attention can be hard for some people. Some young people get their phone out and they get distracted and then they get hurt. So just be smart and use your head. Finally, if you happen to be 16 or 17, there are some guidelines about how late you can work. 10 p.m. on school nights, 11 p.m. on weekends. Now, there might be unique situations where your parent could sign off and let you work later, but these are the general rules. Now, what's interesting about that is, why would they have those rules? Well, because you have one main job when you are 16 or 17, and that is to get your diploma. Getting your education is going to unlock a lot of doors for you, so making sure you graduate should be your most important priority, even more important than work. If you're on a work program, those 2 goals go together, but the hope is that you are graduating with your diploma so you can go on to any opportunity you would like. So that completes the notes. Make sure you have all of this filled in. And then all you need to do is complete this section, true or false, and submit your assignment through Google Classroom. Please email if you have questions. Otherwise, good luck.